All right, what's going on, family? So I'm making a quick video to the parents out there who are struggling with should they allow their child to transfer high schools, especially if they've done it multiple times, to try to find the right fit so they have a better chance at excelling in their sport that they're participating in with an attempt to go to college on scholarship. And how does this look? Like, I get this question asked when I make videos, so I'm going to do my best to answer it from a perspective of talking with parents whose children did these things and how it panned out for them. So based on the research of the parents that I talked to about this subject, it was a mixed bag. You had some parents, they don't regret sending their kids to multiple high schools to get where they got to go, and then some do. And I think it really just comes down to you listening to your child and knowing your child beyond what they're telling you. The uncommunication language, the lack of communication language that is not spoken, by your child to you, that part is essential in making that decision. For example, if your child is going through some things in high school, personally, they might not all open up to you as their parents. Think about when you was a child. Did you tell your parents everything you did in high school? I bet you didn't, especially when you knew you were supposed to do doing something you're not supposed to be doing, right? So just like you did that, your child is capable of doing the same thing. So we have to go a little bit research harder to see what is their why. Why do they want to do it? And the common reasons why people want to leave is because they feel like they can get a scholarship at another school. Sometimes it might take a few transfers to find that right fit. Some kids leave in the middle of their senior year because they only want to go to that school for that sport and go back to their home school where they know all their friends and their people. So there's a lot of reasons why kids leave. But my thing is this: make sure your kid is not backsliding anywhere they go. Okay. Sadly to say this, but it's the reality, whether people like it or not. As much as people talk about academics being a priority, student athlete, how student comes first, athlete comes second, in the business world, that's not what the actions are saying. Yeah, it sounds good on paper. Yes, you are going to school for an education. Sports is not a requirement. But for those who participate in sports and make that their priority to get a scholarship, the business side of it, they don't really care. As long as you're doing what you got to do academically just to qualify, they want you in there in their program because these coaches are getting paid a salary. There are coaches getting fired based on the production of their athletes. So sports do matter to these coaches, especially at the bigger schools where they're on scrutiny more and getting paid like millions. You know what I mean? So the higher the stakes, the higher the priority sports become. I'm not saying these big time coaches don't care about their kids' education, but a lot of these kids are not financially literate after playing sports, especially when they leave to go to the NFL or whatever pro sport early. They don't even know how to own a house properly. They don't even know how to do taxes. But instead, they could tell you about Shakespeare, Greek mythology, and how to cut open a frog. None of those skills really matter in real life. I'm just being honest, unless you're doing something to get paid from it. But majority of people do not benefit off of learning about Shakespeare. They will benefit off of learning how to do taxes. So in conclusion, as a high school athlete, whatever you're doing, I'm just going to say this. We live in a society that on paper, they love to talk about it, but with their actions, it doesn't match. So just make sure you are doing what you're supposed to do to make yourself successful. Live your dream, not someone else's. Don't be influenced by society. Instead, control your narrative. If you're going to change schools and that's what you feel like you need to do in your heart to better yourself, then damn it, go for it. And if you got to do multiple schools, then so be it. These coaches change jobs every year. I don't see why you can't change schools every year, and it's an issue. As long as you graduate and have your academics in order to be able to qualify to participate in the sports at the next level, that's all that really matters. Just talk to your guidance counselors at the high school that you're transferring to, the one you're currently at, and the guidance counselor at that college you're looking at. Make sure all three of them are on the same page as far as your academics, qualification, meeting that standard, and then go from there and just excel in sports, and it is what it is. So if you want to go back to school, that's your home school, you like it, after playing at another school, and as long as it doesn't affect you, graduating academically, go for it. I know a lot of parents whose kids has done that, and they went on to do great things, and then some it backfired. It just depends on what you're prioritizing at that time and how well, you are a good fit for the next level. So at the end of the day, guys, just graduate, live your life, not someone else's narrative, and just make sure you're doing right. Have those grades on point and do not backslide if you make that move. So that way you have a stronger presentation. So if you get asked about it, then you just tell them straight up, hey, this is why I transferred and this is what I was trying to do. I'd rather deal with someone who wants me for what I am than for what I'm not. This is a business at the end of the day. Just keep that in mind.